You have saved enough money to buy your dream home. You even have pictures of how you would want it to be like stuck on your phone already. Question is, should you buy or should you build? Or even you have your house already, you're deciding to buy your second, third, fourth, or maybe fifth house. Should you buy or build? What are the advantages and disadvantages of both sides of the coin? Today we discuss to buy or to build so far as real estate is concerned. And as usual, it promises to be a very exciting episode. You don't want to miss anything at all. We're streaming live on Facebook and on our YouTube channel as well. So please do well to subscribe as well. Right, so we are coming to you from this beautiful garden at the Vista Valley enclave of Buena Vista Homes. It tells you how much attention Buena Vista pays to greenery. The area is so cozy, the air is so fresh. It's very beautiful to be in here. And so there's a lot coming up in this episode. You don't want to miss anything at all. As usual, I have my special guest seated with me. I'll not tell you yet who my special guest is. Right, but before then, let's go for a break where we do return my guest. The show is proudly sponsored by Buena Vista Homes, where homes are not built but crafted. My name is Efia Fusua. We are back shortly.
A real home is one carefully crafted by the master craftsman. And when it comes to it, Buena Vista Homes are the finest and the very best. Buena Vista Homes are not built, they are crafted. Embrace your dream environment where greens are lush, serenity is unmatched, and privacy is a sure guarantee. Exceed the limit of your imagination with Buena Vista Home. Go for everything worth the price. Your home is your pride, and a Buena Vista Home must undoubtedly be your signature home choice. Visit www.mabuenahomes.com or call 0303 401 401 or 050 304 728. Buena Vista Homes are not built, they are crafted.
Welcome back. This is the Buena Vista Homes, a real estate show with me, Efia Fusua. Today we are discussing the decision to buy or build your dream house. What are the advantages and disadvantages of both sides of the coin? We'll get to delve into all of those in this episode. The show is proudly sponsored by Buena Vista Homes, where homes are not built but beautifully crafted. You know, look at just have a look at the garden in which we are now. Isn't this worth dying for? It is, of course, right? So I have my special guest seated with me, and I have Samuel Ewu. He is a quantity surveyor and then a chartered accountant. He's a co-founder and executive director of Buena Vista Homes. As usual, Uncle Sam, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you so very much.
Again, hey, Uncle Sam, this year I am blessed.
To be here, you know.
So, I am blessed because with each passing episode, Uncle Sam, I go back home and then I go through some of the things you have spoken about. I am building a note. Uncle Sam, I am building a book from the show.
Please do.
But we can't wait
let
to
me
have
the
book
copyright
too.
of it.
Hey! But we can't wait to have a book from you, Uncle Sam.
We'll do
the
that.
other day you promised us.
Yes.
Uncle Sam promised
It's in
us.
the works.
Hey, it's in the works, so don't worry at all. It'll definitely come up. Uncle Sam, I want to buy my dream house. I'm a first-time home buyer. Or even, I have my first house already. I'm considering buying my second, third, or fourth. Before then, let's start with the advantages and the disadvantages of self-building.
Yes. So if you want to own a home,
Right.
you either self-build or you buy.
Right.
So those are options that are available for people. Most people have the notion that if you self-build, it's cheaper.
Okay.
So they start off right with that mindset and much more energized to do that. It's not totally a bad thing to want to do that, but today, like you said, we're going to look at the advantages and the disadvantages associated with self-build. Of course, if you're self-building, there are a few advantages there. First of all, your location is directly in your hands. You can choose that I'm building in Apam, I'm building in Pokwase, I'm building in wherever you choose. That choice is yours. So location is not restrictive to where the development per se is undergoing. All right. And then again, if you're self-building, you're not constrained with time. Nobody is at your back, to say that your property should be finished by this time or that time. So you can take your own time and pace out the build depending on a few other factors, your cash flow, your need to move in quickly or otherwise, and things like that. If you're also self-building, you can decide to stage out the build. In fact, you could also even decide that you will move into the enclave or your house before it is finished. You can. We have something we call practical completion of a building. If you say a building is practically complete, it means that for all intents and purposes for habitation, you can go in. You will not be subjected to the effects of the weather. You already have a roof over your head. You probably have your external doors put in place, and then your windows are in place. Whatever is happening inside, it's for you to determine or to decide. So in that case, you can move in and take your time, and then complete your property, as it were. Again, if you are doing self-build, it means that you have the right of choice of who are going to be the professionals you want to work with. You can decide who will be your architect and all of that. Maybe another advantage I can think about is that for every development enclave, we have architectural themes. So if you are self-building, you could be free on whichever architectural theme you want to use. You could be free on whichever exterior facades you want to choose without infringing on probably rules of the estate. So those are some of the advantages that come with a self-build. But it also comes with a huge lot of disadvantages, which we could delve into as well.
Right. I would like us to talk about that. I remember when we were treating building material choices in the building process, you mentioned a number of, you shared an experience where people would sometimes go to the market, and then because they do not have the kind of eyes you have, they're unable to make the right decision regarding materials and all of that. I'm sure it all forms part of the disadvantages. So we would like to know more about the downsides. Okay. Yes.
So with the downsides of self-build, it starts first of all with the acquisition of land. Right. It can be daunting. It can be laborious. We all are aware of land litigations, imperfection in titling. What this means is that you will have to pursue and follow up on all of these. Permit acquisition, you would have to be doing that yourself. Trying to engage different professionals, assuming you want to do it well, like we have already discussed, the role of professionals in the build. This time, it means that you would have to go out of your way, look for the professionals.
Let's name them. You're looking for
an architect. Yes. You're looking for a structural engineer. You're looking for a quantity surveyor. Actually, you may be looking for a surveyor to come and map out your place to start with. And then after that, you look for the architect, structural engineer, quantity surveyor, mechanical engineer, electrical engineer. You look for a project manager or supervisor for your thing. And then you have to look for artisans that you would have to work with. All of that process can be overwhelming. Then you are coming to the decision of permits and the pursuit of permits. You're going to be looking for permits with the authorities. You are looking for EPA permit, fire permit. It's so many things together.
The building has not started, but you're already tired.
Because you have chosen to self-build.
Okay.
Now, for those who decide to, cut corners, it comes to bite them along the line.
Okay. So when you say cut corners, in what regard? Examples?
Some may decide to start building without a permit.
Right. Okay. So it explains why sometimes in town you would see AMA inscriptions on ongoing projects.
Exactly.
Stop work now.
Exactly. And all of that, because the permit acquisition actually takes some time.
Okay.
And the permits also require that your drawings are of a certain standard. It follows certain details that can be tabled, for the authorizing agencies to properly say that indeed your designs, your details, your drawings, and everything meets the permits that are required.
Right.
So you would want to go through all that by yourself, before you commence the building, and it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, and then you come to the building itself.
Right.
When you begin it, you need to be looking for the skilled labor, the unskilled labor, depend on people to do your procurement of materials for you, and all the corners that they cut, like you referred to some of the materials you want, they won't get you the right materials. You don't have the eye to be able to tell whether what they have supplied is actual quantity that you have paid for, or is of the quality that you paid for, or the specifications that you asked for. So all of these make it almost a deterrent, wanting to do it by yourself, and especially if you want to do it very well. Then again, with the self-build, you end up probably having a nice house but sitting in the middle of nowhere.
Oh.
Your environment is not determined by you. Your neighborhood is not determined by you. Who become the playmates of your kids are not predetermined by you.
Okay.
You probably are the eye of the neighborhood.
Wow.
When you are coming home, everybody is looking at you.
Okay.
If there is an unfortunate target for armed robbery, you are the target, because you are the only one whose house is looking that nice.
Okay.
Everybody else around you is in some uncompleted structure or building. So there are challenges, and we have personally dealt with clients who have attempted self-build.
Uncle Sam, we would come to the experiences. I love that bit, just so our viewers would learn from that. Let's go for a break. We'll be back shortly. You're watching the Buena Vista Homes Real Estate Show. Today we are discussing to buy or to build. Already you can tell Uncle Sam is on fire. He's on fire. So let's go for a break. We'll be back shortly. Remember, the show is proudly sponsored by Buena Vista Homes, where homes are not built but beautifully crafted. Please do get in touch with us on www.mybuenahomes.com. We are back shortly. Do stay. Welcome back. You're watching the Buena Vista Homes Real Estate Show with me, Ifia Fusua. We're also streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube. Please do also subscribe to our YouTube channel. Today we are discussing the decision to buy or build your dream home, the demerits and merits of both sides of the coin. And I still have my special guest with me, Uncle Sam.
Yeah.
Right, so the show is proudly sponsored by Buena Vista Homes, where homes are not built but beautifully crafted. Today we're coming to you from this sweet garden at the Vista Valley Enclave of Buena Vista Homes. I'll give you a 360 degree just so you have a better appreciation why I'm saying it's a sweet garden. Right. Uncle Sir, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
Earlier, you were about sharing some experiences, personal experiences with regard to people who have tried to build and then what it resulted in.
Yes, so we've had experiences of clients we have who had attempted to do their own developments or built their own properties, self-built. And these happen to be in neighborhoods where they stuck out. They were very outstanding in terms of the kinds of the kinds of properties that they had put up, and had become subjects of attacks, you know, on robberies and things like that, and it hadn't been pleasant experiences, especially because you cannot force your neighbors to complete their houses at your timing and also move in at your timing. Each person is developing at their own pace, and so it you know, so those become very they become disadvantages. Then you look at the entire cost structure of engaging all these other people by yourself.
I counted about 7 professionals.
Yes.
You would have to engage.
Yes.
Just even when the building has not started.
Yes, but again, that's where people then cut corners and eventually do not have the needed professional input into what they are developing. So they may not end up using all these professionals. They just get some wayside person who can draw something for them, and then they just begin to build, and eventually sometimes ends up with buildings collapsing here and there because the integrity is not being authenticated. You know, so the idea of self-build, even though it has its own advantages sometimes, comes also with a lot of disadvantages and cost implication eventually to doing all of that by yourself.
Uncle Sam, let's now talk about our first-time home owners or people who would want to buy more, but then they decide to buy. What are the advantages and the disadvantages?
Very well. So once you decide to buy rather than to self-build, and you go through the motions we laid out in the earlier episodes as to the things you need to check when you visit a prospective developer of choice, you find that you do not need to worry about land acquisition to start with. You don't need to go through all the struggles of perfecting title. You don't have to worry about double sale. Once you go and you authenticate that the developer is gone through all those motions already and has perfected title, that entire headache is off your back. You do not have to go contending with land guards yourself. You do not need to go seeking for permits for your buildings. All you need to do is to ask the developer whether he has a developmental permit. And you just want to see it. If he has acquired it and he shows it to you, you are good to go. So you don't have to worry at all about that. Then you also don't need to worry about professionals, because chances are the developer has engaged a solid team of professionals who have done all the thinking or continue to do the thinking. You don't need to engage them one after the other. Models would already have been developed for your viewing. So even before you make a choice of a house, you can possibly have an advantage of seeing how your house will look like. Or already have a tour in one of the homes that you probably may prefer. So all of that becomes second issues. You don't need to worry about that.
You go about your duties.
You don't need to waste. You don't need to waste your time. The time alone. Yes. You don't need to waste time going from office to office trying to get all these things done. Then apart from that, you have the advantage of seeing the neighborhood,
Right. Okay.
knowing the location, seeing the layout. If the development has started, it gives you even a great sense of how the neighborhood itself will shape up. Neighborhoods have a way of influencing the value of the property that you are acquiring. So already it gives you a sense of whether the property you are acquiring will appreciate or depreciate in value with time. And I guess we will talk about that a bit later.
Okay.
All right. Apart from that, you can immediately tell whether that neighborhood would have facilities. All right.
Okay.
Does it have a swimming pool? Will it have a tennis court? Will it have kids playground? How is the planning being done? It puts it all together for you at a go. You don't have to pay differently for all the various professionals that that would have contributed to what you are getting. So at Buena Vista Homes, when you walk here, it's a one-stop shop place. One-stop shop.
Hey.
All the land acquisition, perfection of title, permitting, the designs are done. The designs can be customized to fit and suit your persona, and everything. And so when you walk there, and everybody's like, yes, this is a fear.
Oh yeah.
Yes, I mean,
fear signature.
Fear signature is right in the
yes.
house. When you drive into it, and apart from that, I mean, the biggest advantage with buying into a community is the security of it. Security is everything.
It is.
All right. So you would want to be sure that you are getting to a neighborhood where you are secure, family is secure, your kids are secure. You can roam about, you can take a walk, you can jog around, you can speak to like-minded people within the neighborhood. And most of the time, the price brackets of a given neighborhood can give you a good prediction of the level of people who live within the neighborhood.
Okay.
And they are more likely to be people of your
like-minded.
Very like-minded. Okay. And it's indirect, but you are indirectly choosing the friends of your kids right from the beginning.
Earlier, you mentioned something about buying into a neighborhood.
Yes.
Right.
You see, there are certain intangibles that go with buying from a well organized neighborhood like Buena Vista.
Buying into a neighborhood. Let's pause on that and we'll go for a break and come back. I know you're enjoying the conversation, but relax. Uncle Sam is here for you. We are not done at all. We are not done. Let's go for a break. We'll be back shortly. This is the Buena Vista Homes, a real estate show.
A real home is one carefully crafted by the master craftsman. And when it comes to it, Buena Vista Homes are the finest and the very best. Buena Vista Homes are not built, they are crafted. Embrace your dream environment where greens are lush, serenity is unmatched, and privacy is a sure guarantee. Exceed the limit of your imagination with Buena Vista Home. Go for everything worth the price. Your home is your pride, and a Buena Vista Home must undoubtedly be your signature home choice. Visit www.mabuenahomes.com or call 0303 401 401 or 050 304 728. Buena Vista Homes are not built, they are crafted.
Welcome back. You're watching the Buena Vista Homes Real Estate Show. The show is proudly sponsored by Buena Vista Homes, where homes are not built but crafted. Get in touch with Buena Vista Homes on www.mybuenahomes.com. Give us a call on 0303 401 401 or 050 130 4728. You can get interactive with us on all social media platforms. Give us a follow on Facebook, on Twitter, and on Instagram as well. Today we are discussing the decision to buy or build. I still have with me Uncle Sam. He's been breaking it down for us. Uncle Sam, before we went for the break, we were making a point about buying into a neighborhood. Maybe in 30 seconds you can talk briefly about that, then we move on to other.
Yes, okay.
matters.
So basically what it means is that you are buying into a space where there are other properties of equal stature
Right.
situate within that same environment.
Right.
And then also within that neighborhood, you are paying or buying into road networks, recreational facilities, lifestyle, you know, environment, ambience, all of which it's already been created before your house is situated within
Right.
that environment. So it's not just the brick and mortar of your house that is what you are buying. You are buying into the entirety of the neighborhood.
Right.
And by extension, even buying into the kinds of neighbors who will be next to you. Of course, there are no discriminations as to who is able to buy into a neighborhood, but there are various other ways in which certain people are sieved off from certain areas,
Right.
because price, for instance, may weave off a certain group of people. But if you have taste and you have class,
Oh.
then you are talking Buena Vista Homes.
Hey,
That-
Buena
yes,
Vista
if you have taste and you have class,
Exactly.
then you are talking into buying into a Buena Vista enclave, where all of these things that we have discussed have been put perfectly together.
When I walked into the Vista Valley, I mean, while we were driving, I was like, are there people living here? I could just hear birds chirping, and that was all I could hear.
I had earlier made a statement that as the years grow, a Buena Vista enclave becomes better.
Right.
And it becomes better because the environment grows, the trees grow. It becomes an invitation to nature. The birds come,
Yes.
and they come to chip. In the mornings, all you hear is chip, 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 chip.
You can hear.
And if
Right.
let me add also that there are mortgage options,
Okay.
which we will talk about later on, though. But there are
Right.
mortgage options to aid those who are outside and even those who are in Ghana to be able to make acquisition and spread their payment over a much longer period.
Longer period.
So that also exists.
So
they
you're
shouldn't
flexible as well.
Yeah, they shouldn't worry.
Oh, please, what more could you ask for? Uncle Sam, your final words just so we wrap up.
Final words: make the choice to buy and buy from Buena Vista Homes.
Make the choice to buy and buy from Buena Vista Homes. See, before we end the show, we'll give you a tour. This is the Vista Valley enclave of Buena Vista Homes. This is just the garden alone. Oh, this is just the garden. We'll give you a tour, an aerial shot as well of how the enclave looks like. It's the other enclaves are even more mind-blowing. And I tell you, this enclave is 20 years plus. So you get value for money when you buy from Buena Vista Homes. Unfortunately, we would have to wrap up here. But then there's more content on our social media platform. Give us a follow. If you're watching us on YouTube, please do well to subscribe just so you don't miss any of our uploads. There will be a repeat of the show on Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. So do well to watch in case you missed any bits of this interview. I have an engaging Uncle Sam, as I like to address him. Samuel Ewu is a quantity surveyor and a chartered accountant. He's also the co-founder and executive director of Buena Vista Homes. Uncle Sam, it's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure to be with you.
Oh,
Yes.
Uncle Sam, I forgot to mention Uncle Sam's shirt.
Who's
Look at
that?
how it perfectly blends with the
that?
garden.
At Buena Vista Homes, everything is carefully.
Hey, it's carefully crafted. We come prepared, right? Okay, so we are back same time next week with another power-packed edition of the show. Watch us on social media as well. Bye.